The All-Star New Year's Tournament is in the books. Congratulations to Mock for winning it. It's now time to go race for a championship. Folks, ladies and gentle cars, my name is Farkle8000, and welcome to the 2026 Diecast Competition Series season opener. Formally, it is called the January competition, though by the time this is releasing, January is 2 months behind, and so we're just gonna call it the season opener. A couple of breaking stories before we truly get into the racing. As you know, we have a new track, and the New Yorkers tournament is still going to be going on. Check out my breaking news video that I released, a few days ago. Probably about a week by the time this is coming out. A week ago now. So go and watch that if you want more information on the track or the New Yorkers tournament, which is continuing on this season. You want an overview of the competitors and such, go and watch that. But there is one piece of news that we actually didn't share in that video. For the second season in a row, the point standings will be changing, or the points format will be changing. Last season, it was plus 10 would be added to each and every single round. This season, well, in the past, the winner has gotten 5 extra points over second place. This year, that gap increases by 10. The winner of every competition moving forward from here until the end of time, the winner will now get 15 extra points over second place. Now, we did a bit of a hypothetical last season with this. The biggest difference is Elliott would have moved into 6th place. Comic would have dropped to 7th place. So this might be a 2026 exclusive, or we might be using it moving forwards. It really all depends on how things go this season. If, the 2 people watching this video, if you come out to enjoy it this season, we'll keep it. If not, then we'll remove it. It's just kind of that simple. But that's really the only storyline we got moving into this. We have 297 competitors competing in this competition. 25 of them are brand new to the series. About 60-ish of them are entering their second season. And so I'm going to stop stalling, or actually before I fully stop stalling, one more thing to mention. Round 1, still not showing the entirety of Round 1. There is a total of 73 races now with the added competitors in Round 1. We will be showing you 42 races of round number 1 for this competition. 21 of those races will be in this video. The races you will see will contain the competitors who finished top 5 in this competition, all the New Yorkers, every brand new rookie to the season, and the top 10 in points. That will actually be consistent until mid-season. After mid-season, we'll probably stop talking about the New Yorkers, and we'll increase the top 10 to the top 15. We'll probably also stop talking about the rookies as well. We just talking about the rookies early here. They're brand new to the series, so let's get to know them type of thing. And that's basically all I wanted to mention. A new track, new rules of the winners, you're getting more points, so let's see how competitors deal with that and much, much more with this track. Let's get to racing in 2026, or should I say, let's get to competition racing in 2026. 2026. We kick off the 2026 Diecast Competition Series season from right to left with Skull, Siren, Minecart, and Mustang. Let the chase for a championship begin. And it looks to be Mustang a slight lead ahead of the pack. Now bouncing there. Siren flips on his roof. It's Mustang still in the lead. Here comes Minecart bouncing to the lead. And I think Minecart was able to hold him off. He was. Minecart threw that onto the flat right there. Just stole the win from Mustang. Mustang leading there all the way to the flat. He really, I didn't see anything he really did wrong coming onto the flat right there. Maybe he bounced a little bit. Minecart just kind of slammed the gas and moved forwards. I mean, he is a minecart from Minecraft. Maybe he activated like a powered rail or something, but Minecart steals the win and becomes the first competitor to advance to round 2 in 2026. Next up, we've got Redliner, Folks, 37, and Bird. And 37 in lane number 3 is the first of 7 New Yorkers to run in this competition. I'm very worried about 37 in this race. 37 on a downhill track like this is bound to be very strong and very fast. This is how Courtesy was eliminated from the New Yorkers tournament and was forced to retire from the series last season. He started deep in the pack within the first like 10 races of the round. He advanced to round 2 and then just fell from there. So it's going to be interesting to see what 37 does in this one to try and prevent that. And it looks to be a very even start. Redliner now eking ahead. A bounce there. 37 on the side of the track. Folks falls behind. Redliner takes the win with 37 in second. And that is how you want to start off the season if you're a New Yorker. Man, Redliner basically led from flag to flag. 37 was right there, but it looked like coming down that steep downhill section right there, he realized he might have a little bit too much speed, wobbled right there, hit the brakes, got a little bit on the side of the track, and then once he knew he wasn't going to win the race, he moved forwards, made sure he wouldn't finish last, but instead finished second. A great start to the season for 37. Puts himself in a good position to survive the New Yorkers tournament this season. Redliner advances to round 2. Next up, we've got Stinger, Skyline, Racer, and Ladder. And, Racer gets caught at the start line. It's 3 wide up front. Racer now on her side. Skyline in the lead. Stinger bounces, cannot close, and Racer is upside down, sideways across the line. Just an all-around bad race right there for Racer. Caught at the start line, flipped over, finishes in last place. Skyline looked to have the lead early with Stinger, was able to pull ahead down that downhill track. Stinger could not close onto the flat, so Skyline advances to round 2. Next up, we've got California, Tron, Mighty, and Sprint. And it's a relatively big lead for California early. Tron falling behind Sprint, trying to stick with California. California on 2 wheels across the line. But she'll be able to hold on, and Sprint will come home in second place. California, a relatively heavy competitor right here. Very top heavy as well. I'm shocked she didn't flip over, but it looks like a heavy competitor. I mean, that was a great race from start to finish for her. Looks like maybe being a heavier competitor on this track could work out in the long run. I guess we'll have to see as this competition really, as this season moves on. Sprint, a terrible start to this season, the worst he's ever had in his career, comes home in second. Next up, we've got Jeep, Wallace, Ford, and Railing. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Jeep in the lead, but now he bounces. Wallace on the side of the track. The NASCARs pull ahead. And it looked like Wallace was able to beat Ford across the line. And he was indeed. Wallace takes the win. Started to fall behind just a little bit early, and then through that angle got on the side of the track, but it didn't stop him. It definitely didn't stop either of the NASCARs. They pulled ahead as Jeep bounced, and Wallace, after a terrible end to his rookie season, the sophomore, advances to round 2. Before we truly get into the next race, the following video you're about to see is a blooper. We could have kept it, actually, but we chose against it, but we felt it was too silly of a take not to keep in, and so, not voiceovered, but, have fun watching this race, and then, once we're done, once that's over, we can get back into the racing. The real racing. Next up, we've got Hyper Ice, Filtered, Safari, and Meteor. Safari in lane number 3 before the season began announced that this would be his last in the Diecast Competition Series, so watching him all season long to know, hoping he goes out on a high note. Last season was definitely not a fun one for him. Hoping this year goes just a little bit better. And Filtered in lane number 2 should have advanced to round number 2 in round number 1 of the last competition we did, the 2025 season finale. Budweiser was incorrectly advanced, so Filter, no matter where he finishes in this race, will advance to round 2. So the question is, if Filtered doesn't win this race, who advances with him? And it looks to be Safari, a slight lead early through the angle. He tips on his side. Filtered drives on through and takes the win. It's tight for second place. I think it was Hyper Ice who got there. It was Hyper Ice pulling into second place right there. Both competitors taking advantage of Safari, which absolutely sucks. I mentioned this is his last season. Starting off with a round 1 advancement on to round 2 would have been great, but gonna have to wait a competition or two until we can get that. Filtered takes advantage and advances to round 2 by winning the race. He could have finished anywhere, but he chose to go out and prove his speed. Next up, we've got Citron, Confetti, Sean, and Johnson. And it looks to be a relatively even start. 4 wide at the start. The outside lanes maybe pulling ahead. Though on the sides for the middle lanes and 4 wide. Crossing the line. That was super tight. It's Citron who gets the win ahead of Confetti. Man, really, really tight from start to finish. That was a really, really fun race right there. The outside lanes pulled ahead, and then the middle lanes kind of wobbled, got on the side of the track. Though refused to give up, Citron holds them all off to advance to round 2. Next up, we've got Dodge, Auto, Taxi, and 55 Taxi. In lane number 3 is the second New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be Auto being left behind early. Dodge and Taxi pulling ahead. Taxi on the side of the track trying to lose. He's on his side trying to lose the race, but I think he comes home in first. He does. Taxi takes the win. 55 comes home in second. What an impressive comeback for her. I thought it was Dodge who would have come home in second. Otto comes home in fourth, but Taxi, the New Yorker who gained the most spots at the end of last season, will advance to round 2 and put himself in season jeopardy. That is not good right there for Taxi at all. There's really no good way to put it. He is early in the race right here. This is only race 14. Hopefully that means an early elimination for round 2. But he's going to have to prove his speed throughout this season, because if he doesn't, he's out of the Diecast Competition Series after this season. Next up, we've got Department, DeWalt, Harvick, and Sports. And Department in lane number 1 is the third New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Department now beginning to pull ahead. He wobbles there, maybe lifts and lets Harvick pull ahead to take the win. Department right there coming through the angle was beginning to pull ahead with Sports. Sports unfortunately just couldn't keep up the sport, but for Department he bounced and wobbled, and then it looked like he lifted just enough, just to lose enough speed to fall to second place. Did not want to fall to the same fate that his New Yorker buddy did in literally the last race. This is race 15. Last one was race 14. Department comes home in second, just like 37 did. So 2 New Yorkers starting off the best way they possibly can. In this race, though, it's Harvick who advances to round 2. Next up, we've got 96, Ranger, Fins, and Tire Pros. And it looks to be a relatively even start. 96 now pulling ahead, bouncing through the angle. 96 still in the lead, but here comes Ranger to steal it before the line. 96 coming through onto the flat. Looked like she popped her front tire onto the side of the track. She loses out on a second straight season of advancing to round 2 in the very first competition. It's the sophomore Ranger who steals the win to advance to round 2. Next up, we've got Rancher, DFD, Sprinter, and Orange Liner, and Sprinter. In lane number 3 is the 4th New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Orange Liner falling behind. Sprinter now on his side. DFD off the track. Sprinter in the lead on his side, but I think Orange Liner took the win. No, it's Rancher who takes the win right there. I thought it was Orange Liner. Super tight right there. Coming across the line. Very, very close. But Rancher does indeed get the win. Sprinter nearly winning the race on his side, doing everything he can to lose this one, to not end up in Taxi's boat. He ends up on his side and still nearly advanced to round 2. That was kind of impressive, actually, but he does not win the race. Comes home in second. Rancher instead steals the win. Next up, we've got Ally, Roofless, Quattro, and X-Train. And it's Ally falling behind early with Roofless. Quattro in the lead on the side of the track, bouncing now sideways across the line. Ally was right there, but Quattro will hold on to take the win on the side on 2 separate occasions. He was lucky that he had a big lead early, well before the first angle right there. Quattro, an impressive victory, but a little bit messy as well. It seems like the now sophomore has a couple of mistakes to clean up before round 2. Next up, we've got Hamlin, Twin Mill, Pattern, and Rev. And it looks to be Twin Mill falling behind early. 3 wide at the front right there. Rev bounces. Twin Mill drives to second place as Hamlin takes the win across the line. Hamlin driving right there, 3 wide, almost 4 wide right there across the line as well. comes home and takes the win, but Twin Mill, with the comeback of the race right there, started to fall behind and then just slowly inched her way forwards as her competitors fought around her. She just snuck on through. Unfortunately, didn't get as far as the win, but gives some future optimism for the now sophomore, as the other sophomore in this race, Hamlin, takes the win. Next up, we've got York, T-Rex Destroyer, Polar, and Charger. And York in lane number 1 is the 5th New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe York and Charger inching ahead. York on 2 wheels, but he saves it. He's clean across the line and tight with Polar, but York is going to take the win. I mean, York, are you stupid? I mean, he did this last year. He started 34th in points last season and was 7th out of all of the New Yorkers at the end of the season. Actually, 6th of all the New Yorkers, lost 21 spots last season. Ended the year on a bit of a rough note, so, maybe that's part of it. But, he just does it again. Up on 2 wheels a couple of times. Maybe that was him trying to scrub off speed, but other than that, I really didn't see much attempt to lose this race, as we've seen out of many other competitors. And so Taxi is going to have a competitor. It comes from his cousin. York advances to round 2, just barely ahead of Polar. I really think that York enjoys the pressure of being at the top of the standings and being forced to perform in light of the New Yorkers tournament. Talking about the results of that last race right there. Good grief. But moving on to this next one. Next up, we've got Rick, Rover, Plasma, and Comscope. And it looks to be Rick maybe falling behind a little early with Comscope. Rover now big wreck into Plasma. Comscope squeezes through and steals the win from the pack. Falling behind a little bit early, and then through that angle, Rover went flipping. Somehow comes home in second place, causes Plasma to fall to last, but Comscope, as that chaos unfolded next to him, just kind of squeezed on through, and Comscope steals the win to advance to round 2. Next up, we've got Armoral, Fangs, Purple, and Base. And it looks to be a relatively even start through the angle. Base down the side of the track. Oh, but now he wrecks, flipping in front of the pack now over across the line. A terrible crash for Base, as I have no idea who took the win. Based on the pieces, I genuinely don't know whose lane that is, but Base, his piece is not flipped up after a terrible, terrible crash. It's Fangs who's going to get the win. Base will be placed in last and will not start the season the way he wants to. Base is going to DNF this race. Last season, you DNF a race. At this stage, race 32 of round number 1, you're probably going to get around 15-ish points. Base is getting 1. He is the first competitor to DNF in this competition and will be starting second to last in points for a competitor who I thought was going to be a perennial top 10 competitor this season, is starting 291st in points. That is a huge blow to him in the points. I need to take a look back at how exactly this happened. All I know is he got on the side of the track, but what exactly happened next? Let's take a look here. There's the start of the race. He's even with Purple, both on the side of the track, and you know what? I'm certain... God, that's such a terrible, terrible crash. Let's watch it again as I explain this here. Base hit the gray piece, is what I'm seeing right here. The gray piece right around there. He nails that piece in just a terrible, terrible crash. Oh my goodness. A terrible, terrible wreck right there for base. He hit that gray piece. There were some small talks last season about cutting it off, but with a fast track like this season, after that terrible crash, I think we have to revisit those conversations. Fangs will advance to round 2. Next up, we've got Silver, Spikes, Gear Wrench, and Lightning. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Lightning beginning to pull ahead as the middle lanes bounce. Lightning extends his lead. A massive victory there for Lightning. Almost a car length and a half across the line. That was impressive. Right there, we've never seen anyone get that big of a lead, even in the early races. Never have we seen a victory that big. Lightning could be a dark horse to win this competition after that. That was impressive. Next up, we've got Benz, Mountain, Throwback, and Rifle. And Benz in lane number 1 is the 6th New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Benz beginning to pull ahead. He bounces up on 2 wheels, but is still in the lead. He bounces again, and it's tight across the line, side by side with Rifle, and Benz will take the win and will become the 3rd New Yorker to advance to round 2 this season, or in this competition. Ooh, last year we only had 2. This year we've got at least 3. We still have 1 more to go. So this season, I mean, it could really be anyone at this point. I thought Taxi was screwed, and then York went in there, and I'm like, oh, maybe Taxi has a chance, maybe it'll be York. Well, now Benz is advancing. This is crazy right here. 3 New Yorkers advanced to round 2. All 3 put themselves in danger for the New Yorkers tournament in 2026. Next up, we've got Plymouth, Fastenal, 28, and Nerve Hammer. And it looks to be Plymouth, maybe a slight lead as the middle lanes fall behind. Plymouth up on his side as Nerve Hammer drives through to take the win. Plymouth on his roof will hold on to 2nd place. Shows you how big of a lead he got and how far behind. The middle lanes fell. Fastenal in 3rd, 28 in 4th. Plymouth right here, starting off the season the worst he ever has, as Nerve Hammer uses his experience from the All-Star New Year's tournament from earlier, I think probably last week by the time this is being uploaded, puts that experience to good use. He takes the win, advances to round 2. Next up, we've got Artie, Voltage, Oldster, and Outlander. And it looks to be Artie a slight lead ahead of Voltage, bouncing there. Oldster now on his roof. Voltage trying to close on Artie. Artie will hold him off as Oldster comes across the line, bouncing around on his roof. He'll come home in last as Artie takes the win. It looked like from the start photo that Voltage, for the first time in his entire career, was working with his, I don't even know what to call him, I'll just call it his splitter down, or his bumpers down. You know how Splitter and Elliott can move their splitters down? Well, Voltage can do the same with the red pieces at his front and rear bumper. Looked like he was experimenting with that, but experiment gone wrong. A terrible start to the season for Voltage, as Artie, a pretty good start for him, advances to round 2. This is the final race of part 1 of round 1 for the 2026 Diecast Competition Series season opener. It's a 4-car race containing M3, Turbo, Baseline, and Crystal. And it looks to be Crystal and Baseline, maybe a slight lead, bouncing their Baseline up on two wheels. M3's trying to take the win, bouncing to the line, I think. M3 was able to hold off Baseline. He was not. Baseline takes the win. As Baseline and Crystal were fighting, M3 just kind of squeaked on through. But once Baseline figured it out, he pulled ahead, and Baseline is going to be the final competitor to advance to round 2 in this video. And that does it for the racing, because we didn't know exactly how many races we were going to take. We don't have a results page, so you basically get to look at my mugshot, basically, for the rest of this video. But in this one, there were a lot of very strong competitors. I mean, Lightning, big time, comes to mind when it comes to a competitor who could win this competition. I mean, Baseline could definitely go out and win it. Nerf Hammer's got the All-Star New Year's experience as well. I mean, who knows, maybe one of the New Yorkers can really ruin their season and go out and win this competition. I'm really not too sure, but maybe we'll find out sooner. Hopefully, I should say. We'll find out sooner rather than later. We'll be back, hopefully, later this week, but definitely eventually, to finish off round number 1, and then we can get into round 2, and then rounds 3, 4, and probably 5. I think we've only added on like 5 or so races. I think we're going to be sticking with a round 5 and a top 2 this season, and not switching like we did mid-season last year. That was absolutely crazy. Subscribe down below if you do not want to miss the rest of round 1 or this competition. And so, until then, until next time, my name is Farkle8000, and we'll see you later.